Hi everybody, Paul Rose here, and welcome to this video that I've been planning for some time, where I just thought I would break down how I'm using this stereo setup with the Blug amps and cabs. It's something that, those of you who know me, I don't tend to use pedals as a rule. With the trio I just plug straight into the amp, and that's something that I've always been happy with, and I will continue to do in the trio format at least. But with the live streams that I was doing over the lockdown, and with the new house band that some of you will have seen, I'm using in the studio a more sophisticated sound with compressor and compression and reverb and delay and stuff like that. So there's nothing on here that's like, you know, transformative, that that hasn't been used in a million different ways before. But really it's just about having a bigger sound on the stage, because with the keyboards, with Paul Wilson playing keyboards and Andy Champion on bass and Mark Matthews on drums, you know, the kind of material that we're doing, I think it requires some more variation rather than just the in your face distorted sound. So let's have a look at what we've got, how this is working. So I'll try and explain this in an understandable way. We've got two Blug amps, Amp1, two of them. One's here on the pedal board and one's here on top of the amp. And the way that it works is, like all amps with preamps, you have a preamp stage and you have a power amp stage. So this one on the floor, on the board, I'm using the preamp and the power amp. And this one, I'm only using the power amp, and I'll explain that. So all of these pedals, ignore this big blue thing here for the time being, the Ocean Machine. All of these pedals are mono pedals. So they go, you know, so I've got, let's just clean this sound up. I've got this wonderful Sonic Cake Vol-wah. It's a volume pedal. If you step on it, it becomes a wah. So that's an excellent little pedal. It's less than £50, that Sonic Cake Vol-wah. Okay. Then I've got the TC electronic chocker, which is the tremolo. You've got to have a tremolo, don't you? Old school. Somebody described me as vintage the other day, and I like that. I'm getting more vintage every day. Okay, of course, I've got the compressor. What I should say at this point, this pedal board is still in development. I'm still not 100%. There's some changes going to be made. It's a little bit messy, but I'm messy, so stands to reason that the pedal board's going to be messy. Anyway, okay, so they're all mono, okay, and they all go mono, 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 straight into the Amp1 preamp. I send out of the Amp1, the first Amp1, into this machine here, the Mooer Ocean Machine. Now, this thing is sort of a beast. And besides the two Blug rigs, which I would like to take this opportunity to thank Thomas and the guys at JHS for facilitating this, because I wouldn't have been able to do it without you. And anyway, I'll talk about that at the end. But this Ocean Machine is the thing that makes it stereo. So I come out of the Amp1 on the send and into the mono in on the Ocean Machine. And then I go left out of the Ocean Machine back into Amp1. Makes perfect sense. Then I go right out of the Ocean Machine and into the return of the second Amp1, which means we bypass the preamp. So all of these controls here, all of the bass, treble, middle, drive, whatever, are bypassed. This is literally just amplifying the right-hand channel or the left-hand channel, whichever one. Okay. And so let's have a look at how this sounds. So there I've got like my basic clean sound, bit of compression, got the boost on. And a little bit of reverb. Now as I go through this, the delays and the reverbs, all I've done is I've basically taken the same sound and boosted it. Up, 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 up. So more delay, more reverb, more delay, more reverb. So that's basically how that's it. You know, I'm not doing anything here that is like, you know, revolutionary or I mean, there's not a lot of revolutionary going on in 2023. But another sound that I've got here is the maximum reverb and delay setting that I have for the volume pedal. You know, look, no hands. So that kind of goes on. That's the kind of sound that, you know, I've really wanted live. And I love Bill Frisell's playing. I love Bill Frisell's guitar playing, and I love his ambient stuff, and I love Pat Metheny and Alan Holdsworth and guys like that, and they were way ahead of all of this, you know, and others, you know. But I mean, so I'm late to the party. So it's great fun. And okay, I'm using 2 blue boxes as well. So these are both coming out of blue boxes. The 2 Amp1s are coming out of a blue box each. And for the purposes of this video, I've got both blue boxes set to Fat Cab, because that's what I've got in the room here. And I've got the axis in the center. So it's kind of neutral, and you can see that I have the the bass, treble, and middle, and all of that pretty much in the center. And just as a kind of a bit of advice or a bit of guidance, if you want it, ignore it if you want. If you're messing about with an amp and you're making extreme adjustments in the treble and the bass and the present and the middle, and you're going on and on and on, it's the wrong amp for you. That's my feeling on it. You know, you'll get your amp sounding right if it's the right amp for you. And if you keep going back to it and twisting and turning and boosting and cutting and blah, 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 it's the wrong amp. That's my feeling. Try a different amp. And I've always found that any amp that I use, I'll put the gain on full and the bass, treble in the middle will always be in the center. And if I can get a sound like that, then I don't ask questions. So it's great fun. I love it. And also I've got some sounds stored in this Blug Amp1. Now, some of you may not be aware, I wasn't. I should pay more attention. You can kind of store your sounds. So of course you can step through. By the way, I'm wearing the red shoes specifically for this video. Match the guitar, as you may have already noticed. You can kind of store sounds. Let's go back to the basic reverb. So I've got 3 sounds stored in here. There's a video online. Thomas explains how you do this. Very simple, very straightforward. So number 1 is the clean channel with the boost. Second one is vintage. Now, I should really switch the compressor off for that. And then the third one is classic, which for me favours the single coils better. Wilkinson Bridge, let's talk about that next time. And I also have the Archer. Ooh, listen to that. So the Archer is that if I really want to go into madness, this, I mean, you can hear it, can't you? Got to have a bit of that on YouTube, haven't you? So yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. So I'm going to play a little bit to fade out. Let's go.